Hey guys, Sam up here and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make a working car in vanilla Minecraft. But this time we'll not use any command blocks because we're actually on the Diamond Fire server, which is a server that allows you to create some awesome contraptions without using any command blocks or without knowing any coding language, but just using some logic. So let's get straight into the video. So to start off, we'll need actually to create a new plot. So I already did this one. Hey there. So you will need to create a basic plot, and then you can access the plot using this item. So let's actually click this plot and we will access to my plot. So let's go in code mode, and there we go. I've already built some code also up here with the help of some people, including this guy, Awesome Smile. Thank you for the help. And I have actually built some cool things. Actually, all these builds are left by you guys. Some of you actually recognized me on the server and built some of this stuff for me. Actually, a lot of this stuff for me. But anyways, let's actually see what's on the server. Okay, so as I said, today we're mainly going to be seeing how to make a working car. So let's go in game mode play and actually show you how does this work. Okay, so we get here, apart from all the items that we get, we also get this car. So if we right click the item, we'll see that it spawns this car. So now we can actually ride the car by right clicking on the minecart. And one thing that I really love is that it says Simap's car. It will say the name of the player that actually plays the car. And you know, it is something that we cannot do with command blocks, so it is super cool being able to create such a thing. So now we just have to use the forward item and right click or keeping right clicking, and we will go towards the direction that we're looking to. You see that it is pretty accurate, and if you go in rails, you will follow the rail. And as soon as you get away from them, you will not be binded to the rails anymore. So we can actually climb up blocks if we look slightly up. So let me actually do this. Okay, well, with this car you can actually fly, but don't tell anyone. Actually, it is pretty fun. So let me actually use this one, the human anvil, otherwise I'll get full damage. Oh, I dropped it. I am so used to command blocks where like to activate things you have to drop them instead of right clicking them, because in this server we can actually detect right click too. So if we, for example, this human anvil item, which I did not create, it was created by someone else, you know, if we right click the item, we get into the air and then we will bounce down and will create this explosion. I think it's super cool. Yeah, we can do these kind of things with command blocks, but one thing that we cannot do is make the player go down this fast. Okay, so here we also have a buried bow. What it does, when you right click once, it will actually fire 3 arrows instead of 1. If you keep right clicking, you will spam arrows. So it's actually a machine gun. This I'm not really sure what it does. When you right click it, I think it shoots an arrow towards the direction that you're looking. Yeah, it just broke the minecart. I believe this arrow instant kill the player. I'm not really sure because you know, some of the things were not coded by me. Some of you guys recognized me on the server and actually wanted to build some stuff for me. So I said, yeah, why not? I'm not that good at this kind of coding system, but once you get used to it, it is really simple creating this stuff. Also, one thing that you cannot do with command blocks, well, at least you can, but you will not be able to create such an accurate system using just a few command blocks. You can see that if I right click there, it will shoot towards that direction. If I slightly move like towards that, and it will shoot, it will change every degree, every single degree. I don't know which is the accuracy, but it is really accurate. So Wither Wrath. I think it gives a wither effect to some players, but I'll look that in the code since I don't actually know what it does. I believe you can damage other players using this item. So let's actually go in game mode development and actually take a look at some of the command blocks. I'm so used to say command blocks, but these are actually, well, how can we call them? Actions. I like actions. So let's actually take a look at the car, since that's the title of the video. Is this the car? Yes, so actually you need only 4 actions to make the car. I thought you needed like more. Anyways, here when the player is right clicking, we actually use a player event into another line, which is I believe underneath us. We're actually warping the line right here, so we have a player event. It works like if I place this one and I right click on this sign, we'll see that we have some options. We can detect right clicking or left clicking, so we already have one. We can do this with left click, and when I left click, it is going to, let's set a player action and we want to launch a projectile. So we go now here into the variable items, a particle effect. So we can right click to the particles and let's choose the dragon breath particles. Yeah, I like them. So let's place it right here. Now if we go in game mode play, now we can left click and you can see that, look at this guys. I right click towards this direction and it shoots an arrow. Yeah, that scary thing. Look, it's awesome, right? Yeah, you see that particles. It is actually the particles that we have set. Awesome, right? So here we're going to see when the player right clicks, and if it is holding the car item, which is this one, you just have to put the item in the chest. Then we're going to perform a game action, which is spawning a vehicle at the location of the default player, which will be named default car. So if we look at this book, we will see it is called reference book. If we open it, we'll see that it says codes for variables. Percentage default equals player who performed the event. With this, the minecart will get the name of the player which performed the action. So moving on, in the next action, we are removing the item, so the player doesn't have infinite cars. And then in this one we're actually just playing a sound. So the part that makes the car work, I believe it's down here. When the player joins my game, I'm going to give him some items. So if we look, we will find all the items including the car and this forward item. So here we're detecting if the player is holding that item, the forward item. We're going to launch toward the direction that the player is looking, an entity which has a name which will specify in this action. In the chest, we'll say that the entity needs to be named default car. Default means my player's name, and we need to perform the action from the default player's position and a number of 30, which I believe is the amount of motion that the car needs to have. So if you want to check out this server, the IP is right here, mc.diamondfire.com. So if you want to check out this server and join my plot, why not using /join 28416. There we go, I joined my plot. As you can see here, I have a lot of things created. Give this video a thumbs up or a comment if you want to see more videos on this server and actually want to know how I made some other things that I actually showed you before in the video. And that was kind of it, guys. I hope you liked this video, and I'm sorry if last week there was no one content creation. I have been busy with life. I wanted to take a little break this weekend. So anyways, I'll see you this week with some more tutorials for you, and until then, goodbye!